I decided to watch Bionicle Mask of Light every day for an entire month. Why, you may ask? Because why not? This year also marks the 20th anniversary of the film, and I wanted to do something special for it. This challenge originally started as a funny little video idea that I wanted to do, but it ended up becoming an adventure in of itself. Watch as I slowly descend into madness, watch this movie on repeat every single day, but more importantly, seeing all the ups and downs that I go through along the way. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Before we begin, here's a quick, short, little history on Bionicle. For those of you who don't know, Bionicle was a toy brand created by Lego. One of the very many reasons why Bionicle got created was because of when Lego got the licensing rights to Star Wars in 1999. At this point in time, Star Wars sales were off the charts. Star Wars was back in theaters, fans were buying all the merchandise, and everything was great. And while Lego sales were up, Lego was paying a ton in licensing fees. Not only that, but certain Lego themes were not making enough money. Mix that in with the overproduction of new Lego pieces, Lego was on the brink of bankruptcy. Long story short, Bionicle saved Lego as a company. And in 2003, Lego decided to make a movie called Bionicle Mask of Light. This movie was tied into a certain part of the Bionicle storyline that closed out the first chapter in this big Bionicle universe. Fans were overly excited for this film, as was I. Any of my high school friends could tell you that I was a huge Bionicle nerd. Anything and everything Bionicle I had to have. The story was simple. Two best friends find a great Kanohi mask and go on this big adventure to try to find the owner of this mask. A lot of these Bionicle masks have great power, but this one's particularly unique because it is the only mask of light. A lot happens to these two characters, and while it may be a very simple story, the more I watched it, the more I began to peel back the layers of some of the subtle themes. So now that you guys understand the basic plot of this movie and where this video is gonna go, let's dive right into this. Day one started off on a positive note. Bionicles were on the floor, my brother-in-laws were over, and we were building some of our favorite sets. But most importantly, Mask of Light was on the background. As my wife was passing through, I decided to ask her an important question.
Can you quote any of it?
Takua! Takua! Takua!
It was like watching a Disney movie you hadn't seen since your childhood, and I was excited. I was emotional, and I was feeling every emotion with these characters. Day two was a little bit different because I decided to watch the movie first thing in the morning just to get it out of the way. But my descent into madness began when I started quoting the movie's lines.
Takua!
Now there were some lines that were a little bit questionable, such as this one.
Sister, against me you'd be nothing but steam. Hot air, as they say.
I realized that Tahu definitely had a weird vibe and mood to him, including a line like this.
To the north.
You travel with Golly?
Is Tahu a misogynist? I don't know. Regardless, I had to go to the grocery store because adulting, and I decided to listen to the Bionicle soundtrack on my way. Down the Lego aisle, I grabbed Lego Friends, Creator, and Harry Potter sets that I wanted, and I bought it all. Now it's important to note that I lied, I did not buy any of them because I do not have money. Please subscribe to my channel. The next day I decided to take Takua with me to work because I needed a buddy to watch the movie with. Having my own office definitely had its perks. I was able to decorate it any way I want, but more importantly, I watched the Bionicle movie on my Roku. I immediately put on the Bionicle movie, put down Takua, and sat back and relaxed. That was it till I started wondering about Takua and if he is a jerk, maybe?
I say, Hail Jalla! All hail Jalla!
Yeah, it definitely wasn't cool that Takua was kind of putting all the responsibility on his best friend. More importantly, abandoning him.
My duty is to myself. I quit! Just take the mask and go!
Dang. Takua did eventually come back to Jala, but I couldn't help but wonder if Takua didn't go about the right way. Day 4 is here, and I found this meme on my phone that is 100% accurate about Marylanders. But it was July 4th at 3 a.m. and I had to watch the Bionicle movie before bed. Because if I didn't, I might have forgotten. This is me, I literally look like death. But regardless, I wanted to put on the movie early so I could get a head start on it, figuring that it was gonna be a busy day. I actually got pretty far into the movie before my wife told me I had to turn it off and go to sleep, because responsibilities. Now it's important to note that my wife absolutely hates this movie. Her brothers forced her to watch it a bunch when they were young. But I went about my day, watched the rest of it during lunch, and managed to knock it out before the festivities began. But it gets better. My wife's brother Kieran found a copy of the Bionicle Mask of Light board game, where you play as Takua, save a bunch of Matoran, and go through the motions of the movie. The only problem was, there weren't a lot of instruction videos on YouTube. And well, the options are very limited. So we relied on my wife's brother Kieran to explain it to us.
Takua lands on a space that's occupied by Arakshi. Arakshi lands on a space that's occupied by Takua. Then the person who moved that Rakshi flips up the thing and uses the Mask of Light instead.
Oh, we got it!
I'm confused.
What happens?
How does this work?
Okay, so if you you flip one of the Matoran over, if it's black, you turn this one clockwise until once.
On the white side and then white
No.
on the black side?
We eventually did figure it out and have a blast playing, even though I was distracted 99% of the time taking photos of me and my wife. My brother-in-law Killian actually managed to win the game.
Killian, I'm gonna ask you, how's it feel to win the Bionicle Mask of Light game?
He's elated. He's ecstatic. He's gonna spend all of his money on lottery tickets, and if he doesn't win, he's gonna jump off a cliff.
Okay.
Oh, we got it!
Day 5 was a little more tame as I was heading back into work, or at least I thought so.
Oh, come on, go! What are you doing? Driver, against me, you be nothing but steam. Hot air, as they say.
Yeah, I was losing it. But regardless, I got to work, put on the Mask of Light, and watched it for the 5th time in the month, while also enjoying some of Tahu's brilliant lines.
And no more sightseeing.
Yes, Toa.
Nothing but steam. Hot air, as they say.
My descent into madness continued, but we can't go on without talking about Onua, because oh boy.
Mining has never been better. Oh, you should join me at it sometime. Try doing a real job.
Did Onu just like bash Pohatu's like job being a carver?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what Onua was implying either, but I kept going, managed to finish the movie, and then moved on to the next day where I still had some fun and, well, more madness.
Cower in the depths, exactly as foretold.
No way! You accepted this duty. I accepted your duty.
Day 7 was here, nothing else changed, I was still quoting the movie.
We named our island home Mata Nui.
Even though I was still enjoying the movie, I was now at the point where I was beginning to nitpick certain scenes and decisions.
I love how, like, Holly put Jala's mask at the front of this vehicle, and he just crashes it into the door. Like, I get that he needed the thing to crash to open the door, but like I don't understand his like thought process here. Like he zoomed down, crashed his vehicle, destroyed it essentially, and then he's just like, hold up, we gotta bring everyone down now.
Regardless, I went about my day and finished the Bionicle movie, but I couldn't help but start having second thoughts. 7 days down, on day 8, and the reality of it is setting in. 7 days down, 1 weekend, do I stop? Do I stop here? Or do I keep going? I'm living and breathing Bionicle more than I have for the past maybe 10 years. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I'm gonna keep going. I don't know. I hope I don't regret this. Let's keep going. And that's exactly what I did. I got my Sharpie, my notepad, wrote down day 8.
Really?
Well, now I wrote down day 8, got my photo to prove that I was watching it, and put it on before I started my day.
Okay, we don't have time for this right now. We need to get going.
But can we watch a couple more minutes?
Nope, we gotta go.
Okay.
At least I got a few minutes into it. But regardless, we went to go see Indiana Jones, and I honestly had a blast watching this movie. I was not anticipating to enjoy it as much as I did, and I was happy afterwards. But Bionicle was still in my mind, and these people needed to figure out how to do the fist bump. But once I got home, popped it back on, and continued my journey. It was like I was in a trance, watching it day to day, anytime, any mood, reenacting some of my favorite scenes, even if no one was watching. But company was coming over, and I had to stop it once again.
Almost there.
Thankfully, that company was my wife's family, so we built more Bionicles. I decided to go crazy with some awesome shots, throw my camera, and even fall it into the Bionicles themselves, which was a mistake because I got a nasty cut. Regardless, I was still watching the Bionicle movie, and my family was there to enjoy it with me.
For Bionicle.
Trash in my hand.
I continued living Bionicle and fist bumped everyone, but more importantly, I built Liwa Nuva. But he was finished along with the Bionicle movie, and that's what was important. Even this monstrosity joined in on the fun. Day 9 was here and I had awakened from my Bionicle dreams. I was ready to watch the movie, but then I realized I had to get lunch at the most American establishment of all, Chipotle. Yes, I'm a millennial, I absolutely love Chipotle, I'm obsessed with it. I was happy and it was delicious. Afterwards, I had moved on to playing Bionicle Heroes because I wanted to get some game on and I couldn't play anything else. But then 420 came around.
Nice.
And I realized I had to watch the movie at some point today before I forgot. I really struggled with the 0 for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but here we are, day 10, I tried to write a script while watching the movie and it did not go well. I kept getting distracted by both things, so I paid full attention to the movie.
Makes glass.
I laughed at some of my favorite lines and got annoyed of other lines.
Coley head, you could have been Makuta Bones.
Could have been, but I'm not.
Day 10 was here and I was back on my way to work to watching The Office. Then I realized, wait a minute, today was actually the 10th, not yesterday. So here we go again on day 10. By this point, I had watched the movie so many times that not only was I quoting it, but I was actually annoying myself.
Fell into a deep slumber.
Yeah, I was definitely losing it.
Look around you. Mine has never been better. Oh, you should join me sometime. Try doing a real job.
Yeah, I was definitely losing it by this point, and I'm not even sure what else to say besides the fact that Bionicle was becoming my livelihood.
I mean, at this point, I'm just documenting my life around the Bionicle movie. It's more so not just the Bionicle movie, but actually attempting to do this. I think that's the fun part. That's the fun part about all of this, is actually seeing how different each day is.
I wouldn't say this was fun, but at the time, I was excited nonetheless. I got my day 11 written down, got my photographic proof, but I didn't know till after the fact that I had the tripod in the shot. Good job, Dan. Regardless, I had finished the movie and was moving on to day 12, where I was falling even more further into madness, acting crazier and crazier.
But why now? All the Makuta's threats have been defeated.
Oh, thanks. I'll take any help I can.
Give to Jala for his quest.
The Toe of Water approaches! The Toe of Water!
It's here. Sound the alarm.
Day 13.
The next day, I was still quoting the movie and having a blast, but I started noticing some plot problems.
Wow. Never seen this language.
Huh? Wait. I'm pretty sure that is the regular Matoran Bionicle language. See that? What's that right there? That is straight up the Bionicle language. Now, I know earlier we couldn't read it, but now we can. So I know I already talked about how my theory is that Takua is actually kind of a jerk in this movie. Like, I get he's scared. I get that he doesn't want the responsibility of this, but let's just say for the purposes of this movie, he can't read the language.
Onokoro Highway.
For kicks and giggles, let's just go ahead and translate this, just for fun. I believe that first word is technic. That looks like a circle within a circle, but I'm pretty sure that's an H. And that definitely says organic, and I'm not sure if what that letter is right here, but I'm coming up with the word apps or alps, and that says one destiny below. So technic, organic, apps, one destiny. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Takua straight up can read this and just has no clue what this means.
I was proud of myself, not gonna lie, but I continued to watch the movie, got through the whole thing, and then moved on to day 14. I was still quoting the movie on a daily basis, maybe finding some more plot problems, but around this time, a lot of things were going on in the real world, with the SAG actors joining the Writers Guild in the strikes. Good for them. But I decided to reach out to my friend Chronicler177, who's a huge Bionicle fan, and told him about my little journey. I was 12 days in, wanted to see what his response was, and he responded with, I have that movie memorized front to back. I love it, but every day for 30 days, good grief, pass.
It is currently 10:23 p.m. I have not watched Bionicle Mask of Light yet today. The weekends are the hardest part because, again, as I said before, my wife absolutely hates this movie. She hates it. I could do this. Bionicle is becoming more and more of my life these past few days and these few weeks. Live Bionicle, watch Bionicle, and breathe Bionicle for the next hour and 15 minutes. So that is the goal.
I was definitely cutting it a little close, and making it 2 weeks in, I couldn't stop here. I had to finish the movie before the end of the day, and, well, kick on the AC because it was very hot up there. But I had fun building some more Bionicles.
This piece is kind of sus, my guy.
But I had fun watching the movie, building more Bionicles, and even finishing in time. Also, I finished 2 more Paraka and Toa Metru Vakama.
We are now on day 16, 6 p.m., and I'm feeling good. I got plenty of time to watch the rest of the movie, but I want to do something a little bit different today. Me reading the script alongside it and quoting the entire thing, acting out the characters. So that's what I'm doing today.
That's exactly what I did, and maybe it's crazy, but it was fun.
Listen again to our legend of the Bionicle. What are we waiting for? We should prepare for this Toa's arrival.
But I didn't tell him the truth. Say something, man.
I do say something. I say, Hail Jala, all hail Jala. Their duty will be broken.
I bet my wife's listening to me downstairs like, what is happening to Dan?
Try doing a real job.
Give me the mask. Jala, no. We both know the mask chose me. I'm the true herald. Are you sure? Even now, man? Brothers, we thought we lost you.
Brother, you better. If it were for our icy friend.
The best line in the whole movie. Huh, makes class.
I'm supposed to make the sacrifice. No, the duty was mine, man.
Not much room in this transport. Where we all sit, brother. You won't. You shall not join me. Sleep spares him pain. Awake, he suffers.
You're alive, man! Coley head. You could have been Makuta Bones.
Could have been, but I'm not.
Day 17 was here, and even though I had completely lost my mind the night before, I was ready to watch the movie again. Nothing much to report except for me and Takua watching it, having a blast. Or, well, so we thought.
So today is day 18, and a couple of days ago, my wife's grandpa passed away, and it's been a little bit tough on us, and I didn't know until after I watched the Bionicle movie yesterday. Well, for whatever reason, I just have not been in the mood to watch it, and it's what it's hard to explain really what I'm feeling right now. Today just feels like I need to be watching something that's more sentimental, more emotional, something that makes me feel something, if that makes sense. Remembering what happened when my grandpa passed away, and I'm feeling a lot of that same energy and emotions and, you know, just emptiness of that. I know in the grand scheme of things, this does not matter. This is just a silly video of me watching a video 30 plus times in a month. I know what they're going through, and I respected their grandfather so much, and I respect their family so much. A lot has happened this month, and a lot more is going to happen, I'm sure. You know, it's just one of those things where, like, I think I just need to keep going with this, and yeah.
Emotions were high, I was masking my sadness, and I was ready to throw in the towel. I was ready to give up. That was until a certain scene hit me like a freight train.
Well. Whatever happened to I quit? I could've, but I didn't.
And so I kept going.
So if we didn't think things were tough enough for the family this week, Kaylee's grandma passed away. It was hard to get up this morning, not gonna lie. You know, of course, the loss of 2 lives, but she sees a lot of us in them. and I'm going to work. I'm gonna watch the Bionicle movie at some point today, and I honestly need the distraction today. So in order to distract myself a little bit more today, I have decided to translate all the Bionicle language, and anytime there's a wall or something with the Bionicle Tauren language on it, just to challenge myself, I am going to do it myself. So that is my goal today, and I will let you guys know what those translated things are.
I desperately needed the distraction today.
Okay, so we already know what that one is, so we're gonna skip it, and let's go to the next one. All right, so firstly we got PC Terrakava. Then on his right side we got PC Nui Rama, and below PC Usul Crab. These are all creatures that exist in the Bionicle universe. PC, I mean, computer.
On a coral highway.
It's gonna get a little tricky, but this is the next part that I wanted to translate. I'm not exactly sure what it all says. It is probably maybe a reference to the lighting team. Look at that, right there at the very end of the movie. And honestly, looking at it, I think I could tell what it says based on my knowledge of a few letters, and I think I can put it together. Here we go. No Rahi were harmed in the making of this film.
Then I decided to go back to the website, double check my work, and was happy to say that I was correct. Congratulations, Dan.
But I will say, I should check and see if this site still works. And the site can't be reached. Okay, well that's unfortunate. But honestly, doing this translation thing was kind of fun. Yeah, so.
Day 20, I was still feeling a lot of sad emotions. I didn't really want to film myself that much, so not much to really show for this day. But on day 21, after looking at a beautiful sunrise, something in me changed. And it started with a YouTube app update where I could only rewind 10 seconds at a time. It was infuriating to say the least, but what was more infuriating was now realizing that they had reused a number of shots multiple times throughout this movie. At first, it wasn't that jarring or annoying, but as they kept coming, I couldn't help but notice. And more shots were just reused. I just couldn't stop noticing them, even up until the very end. This one was used 17 seconds later, but you know what? I finished the movie, it's fine. Everything's fine. Except, well, now it's day 22, and I'm back in the office on a Saturday. And just before I started watching it,
Getting ready for the fair?
I had to go do my job. Yes, I know. I was frustrated and I had to drive this ugly behemoth to a fair. But you know what? I was listening to the Bionicle soundtrack the whole way there. For just a few minutes, I forgot about all the problems that I had with the movie and enjoyed the music for what it was. Just music. But before I knew it, we had reached the fair and that bliss was over.
So this is going well.
This is going well. It's a good start.
Wait, you know what would make it even better? The Bionicle movie. The Mask of Light on repeat.
Day 22?
Day 22. I still haven't watched it yet.
It was honestly a lot of fun. I got to see some horses, got to see some carnival food and rides, even more carnival food. It was a little overwhelming to say the least, but there was one thing that was missing.
We know they have everything here, but they don't have the Bionicle movie.
There were just far too many choices at the fair, and I honestly couldn't figure out what to eat for lunch. But hey, there's pig racing, and that was actually a lot of fun to watch. I maybe even got a little too much into it. But after it was all said and done, I was happy to sit home and watch the movie finally. I did what any Bionicle fan would do, and that is to play with Bionicles while watching the Bionicle movie. It was actually a lot of fun, distracting enough, and I would say it was a success. The next day, I decided to pull out the Bionicle DVD and watch some of the bonus features that I couldn't find anywhere online. But more importantly,
coming soon on video and DVD.
It was a blast from the past.
This menu music slaps, like it is going hard for us.
These people are a group of exceptional artists who came together to take a bunch of toys and create a fantastical world for them.
This feels like the most early 2000s thing I've ever seen.
I was enjoying some of the behind the scenes, including this little tidbit where the two main actors actually had to switch roles.
He's here to read for the captain of the guard, the straight, upstanding, responsible one. It took us about 2 minutes to switch them around and make them read the opposite roles, and suddenly they gelled.
I continued down the bonus features and found this thing called Matanui Explorer, where you basically go through every Koro and learn about the characters that live in that section of the island. Then I got to Onukoro and found Onua.
He taught me about the world below the surface of Matanui, and about mining, which he thinks is a real job.
Well, there's that. So anyway, I continued to go through the bonus features, found some storyboard film comparison stuff, which was honestly really cool. I dig that kind of stuff.
Oh boy, deleted scenes. Oh, let's see. All the deleted scenes.
I was excited at first, but then I realized that these weren't actual deleted scenes, just a few shots that were cut here and there.
Now his mask fell off. Oh gosh.
I continued down the bonus features, found the director's commentary, this translator tool, and found this thing called Wall of History, where it basically gives you tidbits and facts while watching the movie. And I even learned something new, including this one.
Wait, he did? I honestly did not know that.
More of the facts were kind of just plain old whatevers, like Puku is a useful crab, and Koli is the sport of Matanui, and the Toanuva helped build the Koli field, but the best fact was this one. The exact moment where Tahu gets knocked down and we're told that he's the leader. And there's a lot more facts, none of them are really relevant, I mean they're just fun, but I managed to make it all the way to the end of the movie and completed another day. Day 24 is here and I was still fighting the YouTube update with the 10-second thing. It just was driving me absolutely nuts, but I continued watching the movie and quoting it.
Against me you be nothing but steam, hot air, as they say.
But somehow I still managed to quote the movie and have a good time. That was until day 25 when I noticed that Kongu had a bit of a change happen to him. Now I don't know if someone did this as a prank, but I don't know, maybe I was losing it. But more importantly, everything about this movie was starting to drive me nuts. Tahu's lines were cringe, Tahu was cringe, the romance was cringe. This movie was driving me insane. And to make matters even worse, my favorite hockey player of all time announced his retirement. I respected the hell out of Patrice Bergeron and I loved the guy to death. And it was just sad to see that he was retiring on this day. So in solidarity, I decided to wear his jersey to Target, which was a mistake because it was hot, but that got me thinking, perhaps in order to enjoy Bionicle more, I need to have some Bionicle merch, like this CD case that I found, this hat that I wore as a child, this watch that I wore as a child, these pencils and erasers that I used when I was a kid, this Bionicle backpack. I was gonna merch the heck out of myself in order to find more enjoyment for this movie. And that's exactly what I did. I wore all the gear into work, hoping that I could find some more enjoyment for this movie. But little did I realize that Tahu's line still got to me, Takua being a jerk was still getting to me. Everything about this movie, even the things that I found hilarious, were bothering me.
I can't. So because the last few days the Bionicle movie has been really irritating me, I've decided to do something a little bit different today to mix it up. I've decided to watch the movie at double speed and maybe get some laughs at how fast Jala is saying Takua's name. Is this cheating? Maybe, but I am still watching it for today. With this being day number 27, I gotta find ways to mix this up a little bit.
Our legend of the Bionicle.
Okay.
Before time.
What are you doing down here alone? We're supposed to be at the Koli match. Oh.
Sister, against me, you be nothing but steam, hot air, as they say.
Even though I had a couple good laughs at the beginning, I was now getting increasingly bored of watching at double speed.
Go ahead, you gave him the Cuda bones. Could've been, but I'm not.
I don't understand why this movie is irritating me. It doesn't make any sense. It's currently 5:49 p.m. on day 28. Today has been extremely hard for not just me, but the whole family, because today was the funeral of both my wife's grandma and grandpa. This is the goodbye of two wonderful human beings who spent over 60 years of their life together. But during the luncheon, me and her brothers, we had some jokes trying to lighten the mood a little bit. And Bionicle did come up a number of times.
So later that day, my wife's family came over, we put on the movie, built some Bionicle Legos, and my brother-in-law educated me on some lore.
How did Takua even come to the island?
So the Order of Matanui spread a bunch of Avmatoran all across the Matanui robot.
So there are multiple, Toe of Light because of that?
There can be, but not all of them have the Mask of Light.
Bionicle lore goes deep.
Yeah,
like
The day continued on, and I learned some new interesting facts, but tensions were high, to say the least.
So you'll cause me to have a panic attack that will cause me to have to go to the hospital.
You're the one who would sneak into my car.
Because you weren't helping me find the hand several times after I've asked you.
I'm keeping an eye out for it while I'm looking for what I need to look for.
So it kind of continued on like that, but thankfully we managed to finish the movie without breaking each other apart.
I need to ask, what would you rate the Bionicle Mask of Light movie out of 10?
16 out of 10.
16 out of 10? It's an amazing movie, right?
Yeah.
Killian, what do you think?
15 Tahoos out of 7 Legals.
Okay, that sounds really good. That sounds pretty good.
It is now day 29, and my faith in Bionicle has been restored. Yes, I am still incredibly annoyed and frustrated with this movie, but I realized something really important. I can't fulfill the 3 virtues of Bionicle without completing the Unity aspect of it. So, I decided to ask my wife if she'd be interested in joining me, once again.
Hey babe, do you want to watch the Bionicle movie?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Unfortunately, my wife's brothers are not here at the moment, so I have decided to watch the Bionicle movie again by myself.
I should have realized that I was not going to get her to watch it with me, but more importantly, I had lied to myself saying that I was enjoying it, even though I wasn't.
The fan base waited 3 years for a battle against Makuta, and we get a lacrosse match. Yay!
Yeah, I was bitter about watching this for 29 days.
It's now starting to feel like I am running out of time to do not only Bionicle movie watching, but other Bionicle things that I have talked about wanting to do. But the main thing that I wanted to do during this month was watch the director's commentary of Mask of Light. And I have it pulled up right here in the background, so that is what I'm going to be doing today on day 30 of this trip of nonsense that I'm on.
Now, I will say the director's commentary definitely added a new element to the movie watching experience. I learned a lot of new things, including the inspiration behind Lee Wanuva's mask design, which was kind of sus. But I was actually enjoying the movie more so while learning some new facts, including the Coley scene, which almost was 20 minutes of the movie. But later on, I found the relic of all relics, the Bionicle CD from 2001. I popped it in my computer, turned on the iTunes visualizer that I totally forgot about, and was reliving one of my favorite childhood games, the Matanui Online Game 1. Seeing this old Flash animation, replaying some of my favorite levels, and going through the motions of being that Bionicle fan when I was 10 years old was just an absolute blast. And after doing this, I felt more prepared for the last day than I was before. The final day was here. I was almost free, and I was happy to finally watch the movie one last time. I was ready for it. And by the time I got to work, I noticed that Takua was ready as well. He was battling a Borok, he was ready to save Kongu, and I too was prepared. This is it. I took one last photo to seal the deal, and once I put it on, I was immediately feeling happy about it. Forget about Takua being a jerk. Forget about all the ridiculous dialogue that Tahu had, and forget about all the nonsense that Takua put on Jala along the way. I was having fun watching it once again, reenacted some of my favorite scenes, and doing whatever this was. Because not even Onua could ruin the joys and emotions that I was feeling. I was transported to my childhood, watching my favorite heroes battle against my favorite villains, saving the day, playing Coley, and saying ridiculous lines, but at the end of it, I had finished watching it for a full month.
I can't end it like this. Just one more viewing at the office? No. Because so far, every day I've tried to do something different than the movie, and you know what? I'm gonna watch it twice today.
And that's exactly what I did. I traveled home with the intentions of watching it again on DVD. With no strings attached, no worries, no resentments, just me rewatching one of my favorite childhood movies. The most important thing about this viewing is that I was watching it again, knowing that I had already completed my task, because I was now watching it just for the joy of watching it. Was Takua a jerk throughout this movie? Maybe. But I still got to enjoy his journey and enjoy the funny moments that happened along the way. I now understood what he felt when he wanted to run away and abandon his problems, because I too wanted to leave the Bionicle movie behind as well, but it was pulled back in by a good friend. At times, I too was afraid of not being able to finish my task, and more importantly, losing the people that I loved along the way. But by the end of this viewing, I realized that I too had gone through a journey like Takua. For 31 days, I documented myself watching this movie, this ridiculous, silly movie, and I was feeling a lot of emotions, both happy and sad along the way. But by the end, I knew I was a bigger Bionicle fan than I was before. A simple story about two best friends traveling around an island with a mask, the sole purpose of trying to find its owner. But it's much more deeper than that, because this is a story about self-discovery, about growing up and taking responsibility. Turaga Vakama was right when he said this line to Takua.
The path you walked was not to be here, but in here.
And in some ways, this was the path I walked as well. This started off as a silly challenge, trying to watch one of my favorite childhood movies every day for a month, but it turned into an emotional journey where I saw many highs and many lows. Honestly, all of this sounds so cliche, but so is life. Thankfully for me, I won't have to do this again. At least, not anytime soon. But right now, looking back, a lot happened in 31 days. And even though I wish some of the events and outcomes had gone differently, I'm glad I got to do it with the people I love.